Okay, here's my slightly precarious setup for milling these. So I ran the cutter right to the edge of my 45-degree line there, and I'm just touching the line there. I'm pretty close, yeah. Now what I have to do is move over to the corner here, and I go down maybe about a millimeter at a time. 3 passes side to side, and then about 12 passes deep. It takes a little while. You know, you can't push this very hard because it's just held by the tension of that single bolt, and then the down pressure is held on the vise jaw there. If it does move, I think this one moved on me once, you just set it back and tighten the vise down again. So if I go down about that much, okay, that's just touching there, 15, so we'll go to about 19. Yeah, oh, see, it's moving on me. I did not get that tight enough. I think I'll have to take this out and tighten up the nut on the bottom. Okay, there we go. Finished thinning these out a little bit. The metal I started with was roughly 3/4 inch thick, and cut it down to about 1/2 inch just to leave a bit of a recess in there. That should work. This hole will allow a bolt through into the frame, which is a threaded boss, and then this will sit on the seat tube coming down that matches that angle, and then through here the support arm for the rack will go down here, and then I'll have a bolt and a nut on the inside. So yeah, like I say, no real dimensions here. I think my scrap was about 3 inches long, so I cut it down to about 2.5. There's a little over 1 inch between the holes, and then about 45 degrees. Took a rough measurement off the back of the bike, so we'll clean those up and then go test fit them. So I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. Okay, getting these fit in here. So on the drive side here, what I did was clearanced out with a carbide burr where this weld bead is. That way the bracket sits basically straight up and down. It hits the boss in the frame, and then it rests on the weld bead on the side, but the one on the top sticks up a little bit. And if we flip over here, you can see this side, it's kind of kicked out a little bit. So what I need to do is come in here right where I put the black felt pen mark and basically hog out the angle right there. So what I need to do is come in like right, yeah, from right here to right here, and I have to hog that out to clear the weld bead right there. So the side's okay because you've got the boss that they have in the frame sticks out about equal there, but this side is is not flat. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to work. Yeah, drop the rack down in there, it pops into both sides there, and I've got almost 3 fingers of clearance between the tire and the rack, so I'll have room if I decide to put a fender on here. And I've got good clearance here to where I'll put the tail light, because that'll be right here. You can see I don't have any screws in there, but the rack basically supports itself. You'll have the supports coming under here, and then there's a screw hole through the back of the rack lock seat post clamp. But yeah, anyway, I'll show you what that looks like when I get the rack lock in. We'll try to get that mounted. So as always, thanks for watching.